Talk to me about Bitcoin. Will it be regulated? Are you interested in Bitcoin regulation?
I am interested in Bitcoin, and the Bank of England, as you know, among the central banks, has been leading on looking at Bitcoin. Look, it's a very interesting new development. I think we should be cautious about Bitcoin, and possibly we do need to look at the way we regulate this environment before the amount of outstanding Bitcoin becomes large enough to be systemically important in the global economy. It's not there yet, but it could get there soon.
And there you have it from Philip Hammond, the UK Chancellor. He's talking about Bitcoin. He's saying he's interested in it. Is the UK going to be adopting Bitcoin? One thing you can't call it, don't call it Britcoin. The digital pound is nothing like crypto, the Bank of England officially says. Now, are they going to be developing their own central bank digital currency? That's what it sounds like. So that CBDC is definitely coming. But Bitcoin, are they going to be backing it with uncorrelated asset to any governing body? Are they going to be backing it by Bitcoin, their central bank digital currency, or are they going to start investing into Bitcoin? One thing's for certain, time will tell, but the writing's on the wall is something big is about to come. The central bank has made no decision on whether a digital pound would use distributed ledger technology, so that's still in the works. So what do you think? Do you think mass adoption is right around the corner? If you look at Bitcoin's entire life cycle, if there's mass adoption around the corner at any point, right now is that time. What's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you with another cryptocurrency video. And you know what we do. Whether the market's pumping or dumping, the Bitcoin bros are here for you. Now getting straight into it and looking at the charts, what are we looking at and what do we care about? Look at this channel that we're in, and this channel has been respected since way back in 2014, but Bitcoin has just been trading in this channel, hitting the tops and hitting the bottoms. And as you see, this channel is just getting more and more narrower. Now, will Bitcoin come back up and hit the peak of this channel? So this is the market capitalization for Bitcoin, not the total crypto market cap, but this is just for Bitcoin. And you see Bitcoin breached that $1.29 trillion threshold back when it peaked around that $69,000 peak. So if we do have a relief rally and some type of run up, how high will Bitcoin go? Will Bitcoin make a new high? Probably not. But after that 2024 halving, we could anticipate Bitcoin going to test this upper bound once again. So if we take a look here, and if the price action does come up, we have a rally and then come back down and test this lower bound until after the next halving, and then after the next halving, then come up and hit this top peak sometime in late 2024, early 2025. That's definitely a possibility. Where could Bitcoin be going? That'd be taking Bitcoin to roughly a $4.2 trillion Bitcoin price target. So that's almost a 10x from where we are right now. Not quite, maybe a 9x at 23,000. That's roughly a $200,000 Bitcoin. So could Bitcoin go higher than that? Possibly, most definitely. You see it overshoots this. It overshot this back in 2021. Could we overshoot this and go up to $5-6 trillion for Bitcoin? That's definitely in the cards. But as you see, when Bitcoin comes up and peaks out, we cool off, we hit this lower bound, have a run up, brief overbought, cool off, then an ultimate peak here. And look what's happening now. We're rinse repeating. So if you look at each peak, how long can we anticipate the next peak to be? So the first peak to peak was about 1,100 days. So if we look out another 1,100 days from this peak, that will take us into January of 2024. So it'll be interesting. You know, there's a lot of people saying that we could see a blow off top this year or early next year as well before the next halving. Will we see that? Well, Crypto Prof is talking about this as well. A blow off top or a 4-year cycle. If we see a blow off top, I think it'll happen in 2023 or early 2024. And the megaphone pattern with a minimum target of $85,000 would be his preferred scenario. So what he's showing is this megaphone pattern here. We hit the top once, twice, before ultimately coming up for a third time, and that's that $85,000 threshold, which he's referencing. But look at this here, the bullish megaphone pattern. You go into it with an uptrend, and you have an A, B, C, D, E, and then once you come up here, you actually break that upper bound, flip resistance to support, and then continue your uptrend. So is this what we're seeing right here? This could be extremely more bullish than what people are anticipating, because this could go up to the $85,000 price target, maybe cool off, go into the halving, and retest the $69,000 peak before we have a continuation pattern with this uptrend. Definitely bullish. And look at the total crypto market capitalization. As you see, we hit our head once, twice, and come down and bottom out, and then just sort of trade sideways but put in a higher low before ultimately having this breakout and flipping resistance and support for that retest, and then an ultimate blast off. Hit our head once, twice, bottom out, put in a higher low, and look what happens. Breakout and a retest. So what's to come? As you see, this retest right here is equivalent to this retest right here. So are we going to be seeing this upwards rally that we seen last time? That could be what's in the cards, and that could be sooner than most people anticipate. So let's hear from a guru, Lyn Alden, the founder of Investment Strategy, and she's talking about what she sees with Bitcoin for this year in 2023. Towards the end of the year, Lyn's had some good calls in past. So let's hear what Lyn has to say.
And now with the debt ceiling, they're unable to issue new debt. And so what historically happens is some of the measures they take to avoid defaulting until that's sorted out is that they empty out their cash account. It's kind of like if you lost your income, but you had some savings and you still pay your bills for a few more months. That's kind of what the Treasury's doing right now. And that's actually ironically good for market liquidity in the moment that it's happening. And so starting in Q4, you had like a stabilization and then an improvement in liquidity conditions, at least temporarily. And I think you started to see like gold and other assets kind of start rallying in Q4. And I think you probably would have seen Bitcoin do something similarly, if not for the industry specific blow up that happened, FTX, Alameda. So I think some of what we saw in January is kind of like a delayed, function to kind of play catch up a little bit. Now that we're seeing a little bit more just boringness in the industry, it's able to catch some of that liquidity and start recovering. I do have some concerns around the second half of the year, because once they resolve the debt ceiling, you're going to see the Treasury almost certainly try to suck back liquidity out of the market to fill back up its Treasury account. And if the Fed is still withdrawing liquidity at that time, you could have a rapid decrease in liquidity. So you could get negative retests, you could get consolidations, corrections. But it's unclear how this is going to play out. And it's possible that the Fed will not even be able to still be quantitative tightening at that time. It's possible that the Treasury will try to draw up very slowly. We don't know exactly when or how the debt ceiling is going to be resolved. So a lot of this is a guessing game, and it's hard to say if Bitcoin, rallies and then corrects from whatever level it rallied to. It might not correct back down to where it is now, or it could, right? So I think basically professional traders are going to try to, get what they can out of it. But I think for the vast majority of people, I would just point to that I think it's attractive with a 3 to 5 year perspective. If you monitor the fundamentals of the network, if you think the network's healthy, if you think all the aspects are still working as intended, if you don't see that there's any sort of competitors that are anywhere near close to what Bitcoin offers, then I think it's a strong buy. And I would just caution that, I do think that there is potentially a period of turbulence, in the second half of this year, once some of this debt ceiling stuff's resolved. I think we still are not out of the woods yet there.